Like, is this the other guitar player?
I am a dark abyss. After all, I don't understand these jokes you tell anymore. Maybe one day I'll cut my hair and take a deep breath of this air. It's my cloudy, sunny day. Close my eyes, watch it all fade away. If you know where the blood's coming from, please let me know. I was never afraid until it was my time to go. It's my cloudy, sunny day. Close my eyes, watch it all fade away. Don't you worry if it all feels the same. Just keep trying, you will know when it changes. It's your cloudy, sunny day. Close your eyes, watch it all fade away.
Hey, welcome to High Fives and Deep Dives. I'm your host, Blake. We've got some familiar faces here. Producer Hagen's a guest today.
Ooh.
We've got Bobby back again.
Thank you for having me.
So, we're going to talk about heavy guitar sounds, which is something all three of us, I think, enjoy tremendously.
Mhm.
So, I wanted to hit you with a question first. When I pitched this,
Yeah.
what's the first thing that comes to mind when you think heavy guitar sounds?
My first thing that I had to kind of actively avoid was a lot of just the new hardcore death metal, like Peeling Flesh, Snuffed on Sight.
Sure.
Just the most aggressive, abrasive stuff. Because like, yeah, it's heavy guitar tones, but it's also it's tuned to drop A,
Yeah.
whatever, you know. And that was the first thing that came to mind. And and I tried to actively avoid that. And
That's
have
fair.
more.
Are you saying that because it's like new, or because it's like cliche, or because
I think it's like the cookie cutter example of like
Oh,
heavy
sure.
guitar tone.
Okay.
You know,
Sure.
I wanted a little more nuance.
okay, yeah,
Yeah.
I see what you mean. Yeah, okay, I understand that.
That was a real struggle picking songs. Is going,
Yeah.
oh man, a lot of this sounds the same.
Yeah, for sure.
I have so many questions about that.
Okay.
I've decided like a little peek behind the curtain. I was not supposed to be here because I'm not a guitar player, but I'm here, and so But since I'm here, I'm playing the role of like the audience, basically a non-guitar player audience who doesn't know what the fuck so like there's gonna be times where I'm like these all sounds pretty fucking similar.
Yeah, for sure.
Is it the same, or is it like very close to it? Like so that's gonna be my favorite part of this. It's just how does it get to that point?
For sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I had a bunch of thoughts because I've listened to heavy music for pushing 30 years now.
Oh, yeah.
Some pretty specific memories of
Yeah.
Metallica. Sad but True didn't make my list, but it was kind of my introduction to, this guitar is heavy.
Yeah.
So then you find out, well, it's tuned down a whole step. But it's
Yeah.
like Mesa rectifiers and everything we expect from heavy today. So I just kind of want to jump in. I think we're going to have Hagen go first since he's not a guitar player.
Perfect. Yeah,
So-
just real quick before we go in, Jackson said this man single-handedly saved the moniker record.
He hasn't
that would
heard
be
my,
Blake.
He has not heard my solos.
And Ian says drop D. I'm assuming
Big
that's
one.
just
Yeah,
yeah.
Yeah.
And McLeod says, do you have to add weights to the guitars to make them sound heavy? And I think
Yes.
that, okay, yeah, you guys can answer that, but I would say you got to stick around to find out, baby.
We're going to get there. I did consider bringing a list of guitars that are notoriously heavy.
Gibson Les Paul.
Yeah, Les Paul's, PVT 60s.
I would have really appreciated if it was like a bunch of guitar players that just were like ripped, like really like strong dudes like that.
Bunch of fatties like me.
You asked what my initial thought was. It was Crowbar. That was my first thought.
Yeah,
that was my
yeah.
first thought. Yeah.
Okay, so I came up with this list like today. So I don't know if this is 100% like my answer of like my top 5 heaviest guitar tones, but these
Sure.
are some ones that came to mind immediately. And I thought to myself, like, what are some like some songs, some bands that every time I hear the guitar, I'm just like, that's fucking mean. That's gnarly. And one of the first bands that came to mind is Silent Planet.
Yeah,
And this album, When the End Began, is like one of their best. This is I call this the first song. It's the second song on the album, but this is the first song on the album. Hold on, let me make sure that the audience will be able to hear it, and I didn't fuck up. 1 second. I didn't fuck up. Congratulations, me.
Let's go.
Okay.
Excellent work.
I did my job. Okay, so here's the New Eternity.
Mother, tell me, why do the waters make us sick? Who plays
Yeah.
the heavens, making the clouds and pestilence? Dropping fever, like manna from the morning sky. Gather your children and all the messy. Die, burn and
Yeah. Okay. So, so it's like the things that like stick out to me about that being like so nasty is that every low note is like whoa,
Yeah. Yep.
whoa,
Yeah.
But the whole time there's all the other high stuff going on. But then you get that, and it still also is mean, but it's also clear. It's
Yeah.
like it's pretty clear as
For
day.
sure. Yeah.
And again, this is going to be the question I ask probably for all of this, but it's like, how? What is that? And I know there's a lot of studio magic and a lot of this stuff, obviously.
Sure.
And also with these kind of bands, everything is like very specifically programmed and digital and what have you.
Right.
But
Yeah.
still, it's crazy.
It is very rad. Yeah, I think a lot of the processed, like it's very processed. This modern metal kind of like
Yeah.
djenty almost thing where you can go back and forth between the 8th string
Yeah.
and the first string. You know what I mean? Like you can go back and forth and have that difference.
Right. Absolutely.
So this was a good example. It's from 2018. Mitchell Stark is the guitar player for Silent Planet. So this, to me, and I couldn't tell you 100%, sounds quad tracked. So there's 2 tracks either
Okay.
side
Yeah.
for the chunky rhythm.
Uh-huh.
It is super processed. There's a heavy gate. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
when he wants a note to stop,
It stops.
silence.
Yeah.
So that's something we'll notice, particularly in Bobby's list, is not as prevalent.
Right.
Just tonally what these
I
bands
just
are
had to
doing
be different. Yeah.
versus this modern modern kind of proggy metal thing where precision is so important that you can't have white noise from a ton of gain.
Plus, they all have, I don't forget what it's called, the thing on like the nut at the headstock, right? Where it mutes it.
Yeah.
Trying to run the I don't even know what they call them.
I don't know what they're called. Yeah, I know
it's
you can use like a sock.
I wanted to say like guitar strap, but that's a different
That's a different thing.
That's for the other type of heavy guitar. Yeah.
But it is just essentially mutes extra noise that you would have from string length behind the nut.
Yeah.
Which is my favorite sounds. So I need this. Can't be doing that.
This is a guy with a pickup past the bridge.
Right.
Yeah.
We'll have a gear episode at some point. Silent Planet's a really interesting band because I heard them 2008, 2010.
Yeah.
Probably they played a ton of. I mean, I guess they're technically a Christian.
Yeah.
Solid State Records.
They're
label
like
kind of thing.
They are like a lot of the lyrical material is like goes in that direction, and the singer is Christian, but it's not actually what he's like a I think he has like a master's in philosophy or something.
Sure.
So he's like a very well thought out, articulate person, and because they know that he's Christian, they're like it's Christian metal. It's like it's not really like when you called that, the lead singer is like, if you call us that, I don't care, but that's not our intention.
Yeah.
So they are on a predominantly Christian label.
Right, yeah.
Solid State Records, which is a label that I was very familiar with for a pretty big stretch of time. One of the bands I have on here was a Solid State band at one point, not for the record that I have here. Silent Planet is great. That is definitely heavy sounding guitar that I intentionally tried to avoid because of the super processed sort of thing that it's not my favorite, but I can't take away from how heavy it is.
I think it's just it's the contrast. I think that's a lot of like what I'll like with at least the next example as well for me is like the contrast is a really big one.
Sure.
Yeah.
Just the different kind of approaches without really feeling like you're getting like it doesn't feel like you're going to a different place or something like that, but the tone and the vibe can somehow shift subtly enough to where it's like, whoa, how did we get from there to there, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And when the highs are highs, the lows are low.
Yeah.
This is really interesting being a single guitar player.
Yeah.
So the idea is a singular idea rather than, your next example is three guitar players.
Yeah.
Bobby has a couple of examples of three guitar players.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And
So-
if I recall, for Silent Planet, like they have tracks obviously, but he's playing as much as he can. Like as if I recall when I saw them live at the Door in Dallas, I believe he was playing like majority of the time, and he never like you could have easily in that tune just played the the low notes and just sat out.
Yeah.
But
No, he's putting the work in.
Yeah,
I'll
absolutely.
give him that.
yeah,
All right, let's move on to your second choice here.
excellent. Did I have that timestamp at 1040?
1050 is what I wrote down.
Okay, sweet. Okay, this is Omega by Periphery. I'm a big like Periphery fan, but in the prog metal gent stuff.
Yeah.
I think the reason I really like them so much, it's funny you mentioned the three guitars. This particular example here, one of my favorite parts of it, spoiler, is like the use of octaves, and they use really odd tunings, such as the octaves are one string apart from each other and they're barred. Yeah, they use really weird tunings like that, and it cuts like crazy. And it's sometimes I thought it was bass, and I learned that's just their tuning is them actually playing those octaves. Because you can barely hear bass on their records. They have a killer bass player, but the three guitars thing is interesting because I don't feel like it doesn't. It feels at times perhaps redundant, but like it's I don't know. I love this stuff.
So I think where it comes in handy with three guitar players is when live shows happen.
Right.
There's no need for tracks because you got enough people to cover everything.
Right.
So let's listen to 1050 of Omega.
Those octaves on those, it's just crazy. And I even feel like that could be like a heavier tone, even. Like they could have turned up something to make that even gnarlier.
Sure.
But there was enough like clarity somewhere in there that it just made sense. It just works.
That's something I do really appreciate with a lot of these gentler, proggier bands is you can just crank everything on the amp and it's super blown out.
Yeah.
And you can't distinguish a single note.
Yeah.
Which can be cool for some stuff. Periphery, Misha in particular, is such a stickler for
Absolutely.
every single note needs to be perfectly clear.
Yep.
And not just I'm going to edit this to be perfectly clear.
Yeah.
He plays as much of that
Absolutely.
as spot on as he can.
Yeah, they do like all of the guitar tracking in wherever Misha's living at the time. Just the whole
Wow.
like it'll be, if they can help it, the whole band will go to his apartment or whatever. But like mostly the guitar players will just camp out in his house for like a week and they'll just track all the guitars. But it's all digital, right? It's all like I don't know what they're running. If they're, I don't think they use Helix, but they use something like akin to that.
Neural DSP or something.
Yeah. And so it's all just right there. And like I've watched all their like recording vlogs, so I know this. But the funniest one, total side story, is that Misha lived in Dallas for a while, and I knew that he lived in Dallas. He wasn't like hiding that. But the funniest thing was that vlog. I was like, I think I know where this motherfucker lives, like roughly, because he was like, I was like, that's a pizza place on Lower Greenville. And I was like, I know where the fuck you are.
That's crazy.
Because they were walking around playing Pokemon Go the whole time, like on breaks. Yeah, it's fucking great.
Yeah, no, it's always fascinating to get the insight and going. I know that spot.
Yeah.
I've had that pizza.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
There's better down the street.
Yeah.
That's good stuff.
Oh, Ian says 2 of the Them Crooked Vultures tunes we do are in standard, but the low E is tuned down to A. Yeah, that's the same idea. It's, it's not Elephants. It's I forget the name of it. One of them is really heavy. That's actually a great call out that I totally missed out on. But yeah, it's a super cool thing to make those octaves so easy.
Yeah.
And Adam Richards, yeah, I agree.
All right. So as far as guitar players, Misha Mansour, Mark Holcomb, Jake Bowen.
Yeah.
Are the periphery guitar players. That's
Yes.
from Juggernaut Omega from 2015.
Yes. And it's been there. Those have been their guitar players for a long fucking time, if not the whole time.
A bulk of their recording career for sure.
Absolutely.
Great sounding, like heavy. That's a lot of song to get through.
Yeah, that song in particular is I slept on that song because it was so long every time I listened to this record. And then there was one day I just put it on and I like, because it starts with the piano intro and I was like, I should probably just like listen to this. And then it got to that very ending and I was like, whoa, I've been missing out.
Yep.
All right, so
Sick.
the next one's near and dear to my heart
Yes.
as well, because it's a big introduction to metal for me. That's not your radio metal, I guess you could call it. So give us the rundown.
So I tried to pick something from like my like you said, like kind of introduction to metal and early sounds that I was really into that were like heavier. And I wanted to pick Megadeth. That was kind of like my initial thought. But I thought, like, I mean, I don't really, like, I know that the song that I first heard is what got me into metal, but if I listen to it now, I don't listen and go, it's particularly, like, my favorite heavy sound I've ever heard.
Sure.
But Slipknot was undeniable as, like, an introduction to metal music, and still is a very, like, so important to me. And this first album is just gnarly. It's just heavy.
Yep.
I don't necessarily think the guitars are like crazy, like whoa, but I think that there's something about it that speaks to the time and fits in perfectly.
Yeah.
And so I chose it's like a bonus track.
It's from a digipack they released.
Yeah.
So an outtake from the album.
Yeah.
They recorded, I think, like 30 songs.
Yeah, they did.
And Ross Robinson said these are the 12.
Yeah.
So you could buy special editions. I put 1998 for the self-titled.
Yeah.
So that's when this came out.
Yeah. This would have come out around like 99 or something like that, whenever they did like the special stuff. But anyway, so I chose Get This. It is the first time I heard it again as like a high schooler. I was like, this is mean. Yep. And it's every part that's mean. But I think that the guitars are a little they're a little like dummy thick guitars. Like they're like, and
How
not,
many C's?
I would say like one because it's not
Just
like
one,
it's not the
okay.
thickest tone ever, but it's
Yeah.
mostly just like it's not. I don't even want to call it like meathead music. Like
Sure.
it's just like this is a dumb fucking riff, but it's
Yeah.
so good. So
Cool.
yeah, we'll take it from the top.
Give me a screen, Corey.
I don't like a fucking thing. The next mistake, so the dawn end of the
The guitars are just dumb
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
in the best way.
man, you suck, they suck, that's one game fun. I can think of any other one to simple fun. They'll drag our opinions are great. It's no school face, motherfuckers, I ain't so little bad. You ask bad. I am bad, just let these fucking nuts go.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, come on.
It's just dumb. But it's like but it's not like the guitar tone is particularly special, but I feel like it's just right place, right time,
Yeah.
right situation type of thing.
It feels like a time capsule almost of
Yeah.
just that's what the sound was.
Absolutely.
You know? And,
Yeah.
and they were pretty innovative in that.
yeah.
But it's sick tone.
Yeah. It's like we were talking about it briefly earlier, but
Yeah.
that's not what makes the song heavy.
Right. That's what I was just gonna say.
Yeah.
Is I went through this whole album twice because love it. Great
Yeah.
album. I don't think the guitars are particularly heavy.
Yeah.
They're really mid pushed.
Yeah.
They cut through really well.
Yeah.
They've got a DJ, a bass player. There's samples happening. Like there's a lot
Yeah.
going on to this.
Yeah.
I think bass and drums make this and the next Slipknot album, Iowa.
Yeah.
That's what makes Slipknot heavy.
Yeah. I think there's a lot to be said about Mick Thompson. I think I do think that Mick Thompson shined most when he was doing like very dissonant solo, like high kind of work. I do love the low stuff. I love this fucking song, but I think that was like his bread and butter was like how high could I play a solo? How many random feels like random notes, and it cuts through also like crazy too, right?
Yeah. So the Mick Thompson thing to me is equal parts Kerry King from Slayer. Everything's wild
Yep.
and just,
Yep.
and then it's a straight up Monkey from Korn. It's weird affected guitar sounds.
Yeah.
That kind of just slice through everything. I think is it in surfacing.
Yeah.
There's that octave sweep
Yep.
thing that he does.
Yeah.
That just like that's a crazy sound for
Mhm.
this-
Absolutely.
this thrashy. I mean, it's considered new metal, but
Yeah.
again,
Wherever you want to put it.
genres.
We'll get there.
We'll talk about it more. Yeah, Jim Root and Mick Thompson,
Yeah.
great sounding guitars.
I think Jim Root's great. I really do think that Mick Thompson is like the guitar player for Slipknot for me.
it's the sound
Yeah.
for sure.
Yeah. Not to like throw shade at Jim Root at all, because Jim Root's also great. But Mick Thompson is just like the sound of the guitars for that band.
Yeah.
And Ian says this is the song I'm going to play before I fight the world. Abso-fucking-lutely.
God and all of his angels.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And Adam Richards says one of my all-time favorite tracks from these guys. Great choice. Thank you. Appreciate it.
Yeah, no problems on my end. All right, so talk me through this next one because I have not spent a ton of time
Yeah.
with this band.
Yeah.
So
Like I've been a Spirit Box fan for a long time.
Yeah.
Like since 2017. It feels like it's not that long of a time, but that is almost 10 years ago.
Yeah.
And so like and it all stems from like being a fan of prog metal and gent, but then also being a fan of I Wrestled the Bear Once led me into Spirit Box. And I chose this song from their whole discography, one, to pick something that's like modern that came out this year, and two, to kind of like represent like some of the really wild sounds that are primarily like Mike Stringer, the guitar player.
Mike Stringer.
So he is like I think he's one of those guys that just can write riffs for days. I think he's one of those guys you just put him up there and he just has something constantly that's wow, that's really fucking good.
Yeah.
But they especially lately in the last two releases, there's a lot of stuff that is really based in stuff like pick scrapes, but using them to create like a riff, not just for the the percussive element or like the wow, that's a cool sound. And that's what he does in this song. Is it's like they just played this song on Jimmy Kimmel, and it's so
sick.
cool to watch watch because he plays we'll hear it in a second, but it's fun to watch him play the low notes and then just watch his hand just slide up and down the fretboard, and you hear like what, like
Yeah.
So and this is just I'm so glad they chose this song for Jimmy Kimmel too, because it's just mean. So this is Soft Spine by Spirit Box.
You will deserve each other.
And
Yeah.
to me,
Yeah.
the big thing is like is that it obviously is enhanced by whatever the fuck it's enhanced by to make it sound like that. But it's not like he's not playing it. Like
Yeah. Right.
watching him do it, I'm like, oh, that's him. Like that's not some.
Yeah.
That's I'm sure. Yes, it's a pedal, it's an effect, it's something, but it's his hands making that noise
It's
ultimately,
not
right?
just pushing down a whammy pedal.
Exactly.
It's an analog whammy pedal.
Yeah. It's so cool to see him do it, and that's it was the experience of seeing it live in person and on Jimmy Kimmel that was like, oh, this is to me a great, like one of my favorite guitar songs ever, just for that alone.
Super sick.
Something to note about Spirit Box in particular, and you can, I guess, confirm this. No amps at all, right?
None.
There's no on stage
No,
sound except drums.
I saw them a few months ago, and the way the venue shot us out into the inside was like it shot us side stage instead of like into the pit. And maybe it was like because it was sold out, and it was like I came late, and so I was shot this direction. And I was like, oh, this is great. I get to watch them like side stage. This is so cool. And then they started playing, and all I could fucking hear was drums. Because there's not they're obviously all in-eared.
Sure. Yeah.
There's no amps on stage, and I could barely hear the guitars just going that direct, just going out into the crowd. So I had to move so I could actually hear the fucking guitars and hear Courtney. Courtney's the main reason that I go see Spirit Box. I think she's an incredible vocalist. But no amps, none.
Yeah, so all those sounds are coming from, I believe he's a Helix player. I'm not positive.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, it's crazy sounds. Here's a weird comparison. Listening to this, I thought of Third Eye Blind. So,
Explain.
so it is
One more time?
Yeah. So hear me out.
All right.
The processing and effects that Mike Stringer uses in this song in particular is reminiscent of the way Kevin Cadigan from Third Eye Blind uses sounds as like punctuation points in songs.
Okay.
So I should have just made a list of examples so we could side by side.
This reminded me of this. Here you go.
So it just the way the guitar, like you said, it's not just chunky guitar riff,
Right.
Minor chord
Right.
squeal things.
Yeah.
Like there's scrapes and
Yeah. And
just
I think the other thing that blows me away about music like this, and I think it's all heavy music, but especially like one of my favorite things about like modern metal right now is that not only like I like the sounds that we're getting out of a lot of the processing and stuff, but I really enjoy like the low stuff, and that you can actually like if you palm mute versus like just regular pick versus like how you touch, like everything can almost sound like it's like we can play with like quarter tones really easily in a lot of ways. Or like a really cleanly palm muted riff can sound like, even if it's just 0 or just one pitch, it can sound like more than one pitch depending on how it's played. And then in that riff, when he opens up and stops palm muting, it's like, whoa, the riff opened up for 2 seconds and then we're right back to the shung chung, right? And it's a really cool effect to like let you play more with like opening and closing sounds, which I think is a really cool thing.
Very cool.
Yeah,
It's very
so-
creative.
Yeah.
Like very creative.
something to note with like low tuned guitars like this. There is, if you hit a string hard, it will pull sharp
Yeah.
and then settle back into itself.
Yeah.
And that's bands like Mike Stringer's great at that thing.
Yeah.
Where you're getting almost like a half step drop just from how hard he's picking.
Yeah, there's a great video he did about a couple. There's quite a few riffs they have where he bends really aggressively. He'll like bend from like the 12th fret, and it needs to go up like past 15 basically. So it has to. It's a big bend. And on that low string, it's easier when it's that low tune to bend that far. But still, it's crazy to watch him do it because he does it with such precision. It's like that's a wild. So he's every part of that, like you said, creative. But I think he's so intentioned too with how he does it. It's really interesting.
Yeah, great.
It's a rad one.
Heavy. For sure. Pretty pummeling.
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely. London, Third Eye Blind.
London is a great
okay,
example.
okay.
There's the little sweep thing that Kevin Cadigan does.
Yeah, gotcha.
That is such a weird, bizarre sound.
Yeah.
That sounds like a keyboard.
Right.
Yeah.
But
Okay, gotcha.
who did that? Adam, good
Yeah.
work. Good work.
Okay, and my last one,
Last one.
great. I had to do it.
Yeah.
I just had to do it.
Yeah.
There is not a world where I go, I like guitar and heavy music without putting Between the Buried and Me in because they are my favorite band. We were just talking the other day about favorite breakdown, and this is the one that came up,
is the
and that's
one.
what you're about to hear.
Yep.
And so, but there's a thing about especially, so this is 2007. 2008,
2007.
Okay, yeah, 2007. So, like at this stage in their career, and I would say like kind of just like vaguely in prog metal, like obviously there was a lot of weird tones, but this was like if you listen to the whole record, you're gonna hear their dirty, distorted tone, their clean tone. That's kind of the record,
Yeah.
but you still get a really good variance across like what those can do for them. So this is a little bit leading into the breakdown, and then if we can, we'll listen to just a little bit a little bit after the breakdown too, so you can hear a good juxtaposition.
Yeah.
It's my favorite. Like it's kind of feels the same, but also like I mean like they're still kind of in that heavy zone, but it's
Yeah.
not cutting that same way. Then there's like a solo that comes after this, and it still feels like it's all kind of in the same place.
Yeah.
And that's one of my favorite things about listening to any of their records, really. But this one, it just like everything feels the same and different all at the same time. It's a really beautiful way of doing any kind of tones, whether it be a drum tone, bass, guitar. It all just kind of blends into one, and yet also you can have a song like this one that earlier was like really soft and like it's just it's a super cool juxtaposition.
Yeah, I mean, this is a great example, particularly in breakdown bits, is using two guitar players.
Yeah.
So tonally, it's hard to tell, but they're both panned, not hard left and right.
Yeah.
But both double tracked.
Yep.
And tonally way different.
Yeah.
I'm not sure who's doing the lower.
It would
Kinda
probably be
chunkier.
Dusty doing the low stuff and Paul doing the high stuff.
Paul doing
yeah.
the higher, kind of brighter sound.
Yeah.
Then you put those together and go, oh, that's a huge guitar sound.
Yeah.
And that's how you should use two guitars.
Yeah.
Word.
And I know this isn't like the topic of today, but the bass tone on this stuff is incredible.
Yeah.
Like when the breakdown ends, you hear the ba-da-da-da-da-da, and the bass is unison with them, and it's like the bass. I think on this record he didn't run like a crazy amount of distortion on his bass, and it just cuts through right when it needs to every single time, and it makes it that much heavier too.
Yeah.
So yeah,
That's
fucking love it.
When we get into my list, there's going to be a lot of talking about the rest of the band supporting this heavy guitar sound.
Right. Yeah, I love that.
So,
Yeah.
I mean, all great picks.
Thank you. I felt obviously I like them.
for last minute, you did good.
Thank you. And the I mean, I think it comes down to we probably kind of already covered it, but I would say across the board, most of them are pretty like digital sounds, right? It's all pretty,
Yeah.
I think that's always my big question is like, is there a way that you can tell clearly how digital something is versus how like real amped or anything like that?
It can be trickier now. The Slipknot track is real amps.
Yeah.
The technology in the late 90s
it
would
wasn't
not,
there. Yeah,
would not
exactly.
allow.
Yeah.
It's a kidney bean pod.
So a lot of this modern stuff, there's so much post processing
Right.
on top of it that it can be hard
Yeah.
to distinguish.
Yeah.
But
I'm fairly certain for that Between the Buried and Me record, they were all like it was all amped up and everything.
Yeah.
Now they're
Right.
not. But yeah, I think for that it was all like, because it was 2007. The technology wasn't. I still don't think was like really there. It was existed, but it wasn't like good enough for. I mean,
not like it is now.
Yeah, yeah.
for sure.
Yeah.
I'm trying to
Definitely.
see. Yeah, everything you've got everything else on the list is 2018
Yeah.
for Silent Planet, 2015 for Periphery, but that's amps.
yeah.
And then Spirit Box that it was a single in 2024.
Yes, yeah, it was. Yeah, they tracked it in 2024. The record came out this year, but yeah.
I think it came out the day before my birthday. if I
Really?
remember. September 4th,
Happy birthday.
2024. I looked at that today.
Fascinating. Okay, interesting.
Good,
Okay,
good little gift for me that I missed.
Okay, very nice.
But yeah, I mean, again, great heavy guitar sounds a great way to start
Yeah.
this off.
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
So we're going to shift over to Bobby, who's got a really interesting list because he did something similar to what I did, which
Yeah.
was how can I make a heavy guitar list that's not just
Uh-huh.
metal.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
sure.
I'll let Bobby get into his first track.
Yeah. Well, I guess in picking the 5 of this one, we had talked a little bit about, it was kind of originally going to be 5 favorite guitar tones, or just guitar tones, right? And then it came to a point where I was running through my list with you, and you said, "Hey, man, they don't all have to be heavy."
Yeah.
And I was like, "Oh yeah, you're right." And then it kind of turned into a thing of like, well, heavy guitar is more specific. Let's do that. And so, I some of these are just they are heavy guitar tones that aren't necessarily the heaviest in like my catalog, I guess. But they are just my favorite. Just super cool sounds, super cool tones. And I was kind of sitting through it. I had to think for a bunch of this and kind of going back to that like Peeling Flesh, Snuffed on Sight, Crowbar kind of thing. Is it heavy because it's drop A and the drums and bass are heavy, or is the tone heavy? So I really focused on specifically the tone. And last precursor before I get into my 5, we had kind of joked about, can we find a heavy clean tone? Like what's the heaviest clean guitar tone there is? So my first 3 all are kind of split between, it starts with like a clean sound that is very heavy, very moody and brooding at times, but is very heavy, and then it gets into a actual heavy distorted tone. So the first one that I've picked is a song called Gauze by a band called Gleamer. Super cool band. I found them on Audio Tree.
Sure.
I want to say they're 4-piece band. I picked it primarily for the rhythm tones, specifically where we're kind of a little bit after where we start the timestamp. There's like a loud and quiet kind of back and forth between the rhythm and the leads and the drums and the bass and everything like that. And the juxtaposition of like really clean vocals, kind of whispery, airy vocals, where it gives the whole song this massive wall of sound feel that is, it's still airy, it's still light. And I just thought it was really, really interesting how it goes. So this is Gauze by Gleamer at 117. Yeah.
That's cool.
Fuzzy, big,
Yeah.
but airy and light. Back to that rhythm, just
Yeah. Yeah, that's sick.
Yeah, that's it's an interesting one. So we've got Corey Kaufman and Joey Costello are the guitar players.
yeah.
With this kind of shoegazy
Yeah.
thing that's happening
It's all shoegaze, baby.
currently. It's interesting where they're pulling things from,
Oh yeah.
because that bass sound in particular, I
Yeah.
think is the heaviest sounding part of that. 'cause
For
it's
sure.
just this fuzzed out,
Yeah.
like almost a marshmallow, just kind of plodding through
Yeah.
that track.
Yeah, I found that like the bass was the thing that was like I was like, oh, that is really heavy. But then the more I like dug in, it's two guitars, right?
Yep.
So there's one guitar that's basically with the bass, like the rhythm
Yeah.
track, and
Yep.
like that to me was I was like, oh, so that's the heavy part. But then I keyed back into like the higher part, and I was like, but that's not necessarily heavy, but it's not like clean either.
Yeah.
And so it feels almost like something trying to like find its way through, like whether it be the heavy part or the clean part, or
Yeah.
it just feels like we're kind of like marching along through whatever this like almost like sludge is.
Yes.
But it's not like it's very difficult. You're like happy that you're marching through some sludge, you
That's
know?
the good stuff. And specifically like where it kind of started with the back and forth, where it was just a moment of and then it goes back to just vocals and rhythm guitar.
Yeah.
It's just like almost like a tritone, like palm mute kind of thing. It just feels very unstable, very like it's trying to break through.
Right.
But even when it does break through,
You mind?
I'm so sorry. Even when it does break through, it's still warm and airy and fuzzy and just it's super cool sound.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, great. I put this down to listen to that record.
Yeah, that sounds
Got
great.
through.
I really
So
like that. Yeah.
There's another record. I can't remember the name of the record. Is "Come Down" is on that one as well. Definitely worth a listen. Gleamer. They played Gloves a couple months ago. Super rad.
That's
very
awesome.
cool.
Before
And they
we
have a
go-
great audio tree.
Before we go too much further, Taylor says hi, and
Hi,
Adam
Taylor.
says, "Hey, I had that pod, Bobby."
Had that pod. Oh, the kidney bean pod.
yeah.
Oh, sick.
Everybody did, right?
Yeah.
And hello to my wife.
Yeah.
So shoegaze was a theme for you for
Big
sure.
time.
But I mean, I think it's great guitar sounds.
Yeah.
They're not like it takes all of it to feel heavy, but
Yeah.
it definitely feels heavy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a really interesting thing that happens in a lot of this where I think the chord structure itself is heavy. You'll get these kind of minor second
Yeah.
things that sit that just add a lot of tension.
Yeah.
They can
Inverted
go.
power chord stuff. Yeah.
So
I feel like I'm not like super duper in on shoegaze as a whole, but I would imagine that a big part of why it can feel so heavy outside of guitars is like tempo would be a really big thing to play with it.
For sure.
Like there's like the heavier shoegaze bands that are like that do play faster, and it's like kind of leans into that like almost like black metal like production where it's
in
yeah,
here,
that's it, exactly,
right,
yeah.
right.
But like I do feel as though like when you have like that kind of slower tempo that gives you space to let those tones really breathe, it does a whole lot, because if that song was faster, even by like 10 BPM,
Right.
I don't think it would have worked. So it wouldn't have done this. It would the effect would have been lost, I think.
And to that point of just this genre, it's heavy in kind of a different way. I think if I'm not mistaken, D standard tuning, not very low.
Yeah.
It's a standard tuning. It's not drop, fuck you, or anything like that.
Yeah.
You know, it's still relatively up there.
Yeah, I think that's a thing too of like, even though my examples would make you think I feel the opposite way, I don't think it has to be low to
Sure.
be heavy at all.
For
like,
sure.
Like one of my favorite like artists of the year, not that he's the heaviest guy in the world, but Bill Murray from for Johnny Frank from Attack Attack.
Yeah.
Like a lot of stuff he plays in drop D.
Yeah.
And it doesn't sound that way at all. And so I think that like, even though I chose stuff that's largely not that, even though I chose 8-string bands, I feel as though like the heaviness doesn't have to come from how low the pitch is.
Definitely.
It's to me that more is just like a color than anything else.
Yeah.
Right.
For sure. Yeah, definitely. I feel like I picked a lot of these for that color, not necessarily the tuning, because the lowest on my list is drop C sharp.
Yeah.
Which is like, low, but not the end of the world.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm super stoked about them.
yeah. So why don't you tell us about the next track here?
The next track is off an album that was very, very big for me in high school. Came out in 2013.
Is that 2 years ago or?
This album came out in 2013. It's off of Balance and Composure's The Things You Think We're Missing. The song is called Reflection. It's great. incredible riff. One of the first riffs that like when I got an electric guitar and got a Boss Katana and like got distortion on it, I was like, how do I play that? How do I do that? Again, it starts with that same kind of juxtaposition of a heavy, clean tone, quote unquote. But the big thing, and we'll talk about gear and everything like that. But yeah. I'm sorry, Jackson, if you're still there.
Jackson's not here. Don't worry.
They mainly use Fender amps. A lot of times Fender combos, Hot Rod DeVille, they Jazzmasters, Telecasters, single coil stuff. I think a Jaguar at some point. It gives this jangly kind of sound to it, but it's a heavy just wall of sound with single coils. But yeah,
3 guitar players.
3 guitar players, baby. Ebos and the whole way.
Okay.
Pop quiz. Do you know all 3 of them?
I know Andy, and that's about it.
Okay.
Yeah, no,
Awesome.
I do not. I wish
job.
I did. But this is Reflection by Balance and Composure.
Sweet. You said 7 seconds in, but I just figured what's the difference?
Yeah. It's the second repetition of the riff.
Yeah, okay.
We have 2 guitars happening right now. The
about
third
to-
one's fading in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's sick.
Yeah, kind of the same thing that with Gauze and Gleamer of a riff on top, the melody, the theme with bass and rhythm guitar kind of matching, but them lining up to give this just drop wall of sound, just massive fuzzy. Ugh.
Yeah, that bass going like do.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, okay, now we're talking. That's heavy. I like that. I like that.
Yeah.
It brings the thickness for sure.
Yeah,
For sure, yeah. I credit this record, the entire thing. I picked this one because it's like the main one off the record, in my opinion. I picked this record, and really this record, I credit it a lot to like my tastes as far as guitar tones go these days.
Yeah.
Jangly and massive. It's a great record if you haven't heard it. It's but yeah, Reflection is a cool one.
Jangly definitely is a good word for that.
Jangly.
Well, because like a lot of times you hear the word jangly for guitar tone, and you think like maybe something more in the indie field, or something more in like something more like a maybe a happier ballpark, for lack of a better word. I hate to use like emotional words for this kind of stuff, because this isn't necessarily sad music, but like something that's more upbeat, perhaps, right? Sure. Jangly guitars, upbeat, or maybe even like country music has like jangly guitars, right? But this definitely is still like a jangly sound. It's just a different approach to how to use jangly, and I think also with like having like almost like a counterpoint melody in the beginning, right? It's I hear stuff like that, and it like unfortunately or fortunately takes me back to college.
Yeah,
and it's like, okay, so like you have this guitar working and then this guitar working, and they're doing a thing that's like, for some people it's like, oh, that's cool, there's 2 guitars. I'm like, no, but you guys don't see. This is like this is weaving in and out beyond what we could fathom. Like this is fucking writing a song, guys. That's really good.
Yeah. And when you have 3 guitar players, you can do that.
Right. Yeah.
So here's an interesting thing to talk about with jangly guitars, because there's a very specific sound that people associate with it.
Yeah.
And you nailed it. It is a Fender guitar into a Fender amplifier.
Yep.
Fender amps are pretty mid-scooped.
Yep.
And there's not a ton of low end typically. So you get this bright, cutting, jangly guitar sound. You can get that by Vox AC-15's Jackson's amp.
Yeah.
I would consider his tone jangly.
For sure.
I hope he's upset by that in the chat there. I'm just going to call him out.
He might watch this later. Don't worry.
Enemy of the show, Jackson.
Enemy of the show.
It's good stuff.
But I mean, it's a great way of using 3 guitars.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Big, massive sound.
It seems like it could be redundant, but they kind of nail it.
Yeah. I think that like the redundancy of 3 guitar players, it can be a very like easy road to go down.
Sure.
Like I've seen it, I've been a part of it, where like you have 3 guitar players that are all just playing chords, and it's like, for what? Why are we all here?
Yeah.
Like, and sometimes that could be cool to thicken something out depending on how you do it.
Sure.
Like if you're all playing the same chords but all different voicings, some people with different tunings even to allow for some more voicings, all sorts of stuff like that. There's potential, but that is like a use of like, okay, you play this, okay, you play that, okay, you play this.
Yeah.
And it's like you actually get something that no one else could do because of that.
Yeah, definitely. Super cool writing.
Yeah. So I know you're way too excited to talk about this next one.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And we can tie it back to Hagen's comments earlier.
Yeah.
So.
This next one I've got is also a record from 2013, but I didn't get into it until way later. But this is the title track off of my favorite album of all time, by my favorite band of all time. This is Sunbather by Def Heaven. Kind of again talking about the gear. Les Pauls.
Yep.
Wouldn't expect it.
What would you expect though?
I suppose with that, I would expect just kind of going on brand for the genre. I expect some Jackson, some ESP stuff,
Yep.
Something with a Floyd Rose, so you can do that trim picking thing.
I think Carrie now is playing Dunables.
Yes. At the time of this, it was a Dunnable. Yes, absolutely. I've seen them twice in the past couple years, and one was with. Both were with both of the 2 main guitar players, and both were at Les Pauls at that point. However,
Yep.
on this record, yes, it
Is
was
it Dunnable?
Yeah,
Okay.
Carrie was playing a Dunnable. I think at the time also maybe, or it might have been the next record. Shiv was playing on the Jazzmaster humbuckers.
So I'll ask you this before
Yeah.
we get into further. My research, Carrie's the only guitar player on this record.
Yes. Yeah.
So,
the first record that Def Heaven released, and I'll make this quick.
Get into it.
The first record they released, it was a demo EP, and it was a 4-track EP, and it was Carrie and George. I could not remember his name. Vocalist and the lead guitar player. They wrote the first demo EP on acoustic guitars. Which to think of this genre that we're about to hear and all of this stuff we're talking about, to write a 4-song, damn near hour-long EP on it on acoustic guitars, very, very wild.
Yeah, I think like without even like hearing what we're about to. I mean, I have an idea, but like
Yeah.
I think that goes to show more about like songwriting and
Yes.
and less about like how long could we make this tone last? How could
Yep.
we use this to utilize? It's more about like we're actually writing fucking songs here.
For sure. And Carrie has made a point. I've watched every interview with Carrie. He's my favorite guitar player. But he has made a point in a lot of interviews to talk about like, yeah, I have a pedal board and I have a high gain amp. He said, but I only use effects if it makes it cool. If the part's not cool
Yeah.
without effects, if adding effects to it isn't going to make it cool.
It is supplemental
Yes.
effects as opposed to the effect
Definitely.
as the riff.
It's
Yes.
that's a like a take that I would call mature, but not in the sense of like if you view it otherwise, then you're wrong.
Yes.
Because like I think that there is a lot of discussion that could be had in something like that. But I do find that take to be quite mature to go like it's got to be good without without this thing.
For sure.
If it's not there, especially for like a person who is writing songs, to basically know for yourself like if I can't have it this way and it's not going to work, then it's not good.
Exactly. And it's got to be good without it. But again, like Les Pauls at the time, Dunables, 6505s,
Yep.
rocker verbs. We talked a little bit about like quad tracking. I believe in this case there are 6 guitars.
Yep, makes sense.
Just a whole lot of guitars, a whole lot of reverb. This song particularly is in E standard,
yep.
so not even low tuned. What's not to like? Again, it's in this one specifically. I think out of all the tones that I picked, this one is not the heaviest. There's definitely heavier in the world, but for me, this is my favorite heavy distorted guitar tone.
Okay.
Again, it's fallen in the same boat, and we'll kind of get out of this after this one. But it starts with a heavy clean tone that is very quiet, and I will make a point to say headphone warning. There is a blast of sound in the middle of this example. But yeah, it's very, very cool. And this is Sunbather by Def Heaven.
We have 254, right?
Yep.
Okay.
Very quiet. Let me get to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dude, the I love that the chord progression is like diatonic.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
it's like
Yeah.
it's like it's a straight up diatonic chord progression.
Yeah.
There's nothing that's like they use like major sevens, but they're like, but it's all within the key. Like I was like, wait, what? This is a fucking pop song?
Yeah.
What is happening?
Exactly.
Like,
Yeah.
that's crazy.
Definitely. And again, that song is 10 minutes and 16 seconds
Yeah.
long. It is a complete roller coaster the entire time.
Sure,
but
yeah.
I picked that point specifically for the clean tone to get into the loud wall
Yeah.
of sound. And I think what was this record was very polarizing because again we talked about like black metal
Yeah.
influence things. Obviously very black metal trim pick,
Absolutely, yeah.
blast beats. That you hear the vocals at the end. I mean, come on.
Yeah.
But at the same time, taking from other shoegaze examples of, I mean, Carey with that Dunnable. He had a trim system where he would just strum and do the glide picking, but trim picked, which is just like, what are you doing? You know, I think when we're talking about heavy and loud and massive guitar sounds, it's about the wall of sound.
Yeah.
Just having that wall of sound that hits you in the chest. And again, with two guitar players. Like I think that's a great way of doing it from a shoegaze perspective, from a metal perspective, from a guitar's perspective. I very clearly love this band. Yeah.
Yeah, something interesting about this album in particular and the guitar parts is close harmonies.
Yes.
Yeah.
Dyads.
Yeah, like everything's super tight.
Yeah.
The movement builds the tension. So and then it's black metal.
Yeah.
It's not particularly low guitar. There's not a lot of low end to the sound.
Yep.
Yeah.
But there's so much of it that it just fills everything out.
Now, like something that comes to mind with something like this is a question from a drummer's perspective, which is how much of like the wall of sound of guitars do you think do you think comes from basically having to fight like a drummer? Like not necessarily in like a rehearsal space, but like in a recording context, like that drummer's not holding back.
No.
That drummer's beating the shit out of stuff.
Oh, yeah.
And it's like and it's not a fight in a sense of like I got to be louder than you, but like to actually go like I if I'm going to be heard,
Yeah.
what can I do? I can make this.
Sure.
I can track it 6 times. I can do whatever it is. How is that? Do you think that's ever been like? I mean, I'm sure it's been a thought at some point, but do you think that was any sort of like process to get to how we got to heavy guitars? Was anything that had to do with like drums are too loud? This is what we have to do.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
As
Okay.
far as the history of heavy guitar
Yeah,
sounds,
yeah.
100%
Yeah.
can
I-
almost be traced back to Keith Moon
Right. Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
from The Who being so loud
Yeah.
that the guitar player and bass player of that band were having Marshall build bigger and bigger
Yeah.
amps.
yeah.
And
So-
I think specifically to that point, looking back into like OG like black metal, at the time, before black metal in Norway and Sweden, all that stuff happened with everybody knows the Mayhem story and stuff. But before then, there was blast beats in grindcore. There was blast beats in some death metal stuff.
Yeah.
And then black metal, the passion in black metal, I think is from being unapproachable.
Sure.
It is from being abrasive and
Right.
hard to listen to.
Yep.
Shoegaze, the passion is in the intensity as well in a different way. It's just overwhelmingly intense in a dreamy, atmospheric sense.
Yeah.
I believe, and I think this record does a really good job of taking the passion being in the intensity of just abrasive and kind of hard to listen to. Again, that wall of sound. It's like headphone warning. Like seriously,
Yeah.
like this is gonna be really loud. But also taking it from a dreamy, atmospheric sense. And I think that just from the songwriting perspective, it has to be massive.
Yeah,
And
absolutely.
the drums with the blast beats, that's obviously a huge part of it. That's very intense, very passionate.
Mm-hmm.
But the guitars as well. There's obviously it started with a slow moment, but there's in the blast beats and the trim picking, it's just balls to the wall
Yeah,
the
full on.
100% of the time.
Yeah.
And that's I think a lot of the reason why the quad tracking and everything like that is that way.
Yeah. That makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, great sound. It's a kind of the perfect blend of the black metal harshness, but then it does the shoegaze thing where it has to be loud. Like, there's no way you could record that quietly or even like play it quietly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's just gotta absolutely pummel you.
Yep.
If you have an hour of your time, listen to Sunbather by Deaf Heaven. It's great.
Yeah. That's great. Incredible.
All right. This next one was an interesting for me because I'd never heard it
Yeah.
and just went, this is up my alley.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, they're super cool. This next band is a band called Feeble Little Horse. The song is called Freak. It starts at 9 seconds in. If you want to start from the top, that's okay. I originally, this is one of the ones that I had picked when we were just talking about like cool guitar tones or favorite guitar tones. It's very weird sounding, just very crushed. Just again, it kind of goes back to that unstable kind of feel. I think a big one about this one is the juxtaposition between the crushed guitar tones and the intensity of that with the clean vocals. I got to see them at Tulips in Fort Worth, very, very close to the stage, and the tones were damn near exact as what's on this record.
That's
it was
awesome.
Very impressive. But yeah, this is Freak by Feeble Little Horse.
Jesus.
Yeah.
I know you want me freak, sports star honeybee on my team. I wanna play nicely, I can pick it up if you take the lead. I know you want me freak, I know you want me freak.
Ooh.
I know you want me freak. I know
And then again, the high and low here.
Yeah.
I can look you in the eye and shoot for you 'cause I'm on your side.
That's great.
Yeah. Super cool.
It's just one guitar player?
There's two.
Two? Okay.
Yeah, two guitar players. But again, seeing them live, dude, like it sounded exactly that way. It was very, very incredible to watch. I think they were both playing Strats, like wild, very wild.
Yeah, that all kind of tracks.
Yeah.
An interesting thing that happens in this song that there's this almost sounds like a tape machine that the speed is just drifting a little bit. Kevin Shields from My Bloody Valentine does it with the whammy bar kind of thing. I'm not sure how they do that.
Sure.
If you recall, if they're using...
I don't believe they were doing
whammy
any sort of
bars or if it's just-
glide picking or anything like that. It was just they were tap dancing a lot of the time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very cool sounds.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
How I've missed that, I don't know, because it is
Yeah.
definitely should have been on my radar.
The record is Girl with Fish,
Girl with Fish,
2023. Super, super cool record.
Yeah, I heard the name, but I had never. I must have listened to like one song, but that was fucking incredible.
Yeah.
That was great.
Very, very cool band.
The little research that I did today, all of the guitars on that album are the lead singer, Seb Kinsler.
Okay.
Sure. Seems like she recorded
wow.
guitars for it.
Very cool. Yeah.
As the best I could tell. There's not a ton of information.
Right.
That's cool though.
Yeah.
Yeah, great sounding. I give it 2 years and there'll be a Nels Klein collaboration.
That makes
Good
sense. That makes sense. Yeah, that's super cool. I really like the there's been a few bands that have done it really well, but just like any sort of like ultra fuzzed out sort of guitar with like that kind of vocal on top, it's just like, oh, this is perfect.
Yeah.
This is so many people's like ideal scenario.
For sure.
It sounds incredible. And a voice
Yeah.
like that and the guitar tone like that, it's like, yeah, that's it. That's the one. That's the one.
Rad band. Great
sound,
live.
Sound guys hate them.
For sure. Yeah.
All right, hit us with this almost local band up next.
Yeah.
here.
This next one is a song called Bishop by a band called Trauma Ray. This is off of this is actually their first full length record release. They released it at the end of 2024 to the end of last year. Shout out from Fort Worth. Super cool. I believe that the guys all met at a bar that the lead vocalist Yuri was doing karaoke at. He was running a karaoke night and he would play My Bloody Valentine. And then some guys came up and said, "Who's on aux?"
Yeah.
And the rest is history. The first time I saw this band, they were playing New Year's Eve show at Rubber Gloves. I believe they were like the third act on that night. And then to see them from then just a couple years ago to be playing local shows like that, to do an Audio Tree, to do have their first full headlining U.S. tour, to do tours opening for Touche Amore in Europe, to doing
it's so
a
cool.
full U.S. tour with Deaf Heaven as
Yeah,
well.
that's
and that
so
was
cool.
Such a sick show. My number one and number two at the same show is awesome. But this is just straight up like doom gaze kind of
Yeah,
deal.
yeah.
I think as far as like the modern sounds of shoegaze go, this band is just they have the best full band sound. This is another 3 guitar band example.
Yep.
Um,
Name them.
Yuri. God. Yeah, but again, using
I wrote them down. I didn't. Just
okay.
know them.
Hang on.
So you say doom gaze.
Yeah.
So this is the implication is doom metal plus shoegaze.
Yeah, shoegaze in a sense of doom metal, just very slow, very sludgy at times.
And shoegaze, as we said earlier, is slow.
Very slow.
So I mean, I'm excited to hear
Yeah.
what we're talking about here.
It's
but
very cool.
Again, there's going to be a very lengthy, and I mean hours and hours of discussion about genre.
Of
at
course,
some point.
yeah,
At
of course,
some point.
yeah.
I have always since I first heard Trauma Ray.
Yeah.
It was slowcore.
Sure. Yeah.
Okay,
Absolutely.
yeah,
Everything
yeah,
is-
I get that.
Yeah.
Okay,
Slow and washy, and
Yeah.
sure. Okay,
Absolutely.
got
so
it.
this
Yeah.
is a great song.
Super cool band.
So-
My probably my favorite off this record, but yeah, this is Bishop by Trauma Ray.
Sweet. Yeah, I get the slow core thing.
Yeah. So there's low tune guitar. Then there's a guitar that's sitting at about the same frequency as the crash cymbal.
Yeah, absolutely.
And then there's this big ethereal thing that's happening with that.
Oh, yeah.
It's a great way to fill out frequencies.
For sure.
Yeah, that's incredible.
Yeah.
That's huge.
Again, as far as just modern bands that are going for a full sound, I think respectfully Trauma Ray is at the top for me.
Sure.
Just massive, massive, massive sound. And again, doing the 3 guitar thing
Yep.
correctly.
Do you know guitar wise what they're playing?
I know 2 of them are on Jazz Masters. I do know that one of them is playing. I want to say it's like a Charvel,
Okay.
a Charvel or something like that. Or I'm sorry, it's an Ibanez. I believe it's
Okay.
an Ibanez. Yeah. But very very cool stuff. Again, they do a little bit of the Kevin Shieldsy stuff.
Yeah.
Lots of trim picking leads. Again, kind of inspired
Yeah.
by the Deaf Heaven stuff, I think, and just really really rad writing
Yeah. That's my favorite song on that record.
for sure. Yeah.
And just that, again, it fills out the frequency so well.
Yeah.
Yeah. That like I don't even have to like listen to the rest of the song. I just feel like I already reached the climax.
Yeah,
And it's like
sure.
I'm like it's like that was massive. That was
Yeah.
huge. That was super cool.
Oh, yeah.
And yeah, the again that's the way to use 3 guitar players.
Mm-hmm.
That's the like how else could you use them effectively? There's no that's the most effective way.
Word. Oh yeah.
All right.
Well, those are my 5.
All right. Well, we're out of the 3 guitar player. I didn't do anything like that. So starting at the top, I picked this first song almost specifically for the title.
I thought you did.
So-
I thought when I saw the list, I was like, I like the song title is just like that's it. That's
Yeah.
the
So He Is Legend is a band I've been into. Honestly, since this record, 2009, the
Okay.
album's called It Hates You. It's their 3rd record.
Also, the album title is pretty appropriate too.
One of my favorite album covers, it's an ostrich with laser beams coming out of its eyes.
Sick, dude. So sick.
So,
It's like the most like 2000s metalcore shit or metal shit in the whole wide world.
oh, yeah. So, He Is Legend is a band from North Carolina. They started, their first album was sort of like a screamo-y, post-hardcore-ish
Words.
thing.
Yeah.
then they put out their second album, Suck Out the Poison. That's this like swampy southern sort of thing.
Yeah.
And then they go on hiatus for 4 years.
Mm-hmm.
And then they announce, hey, we've left Solid State Records.
Yeah.
We've joined Hopeless Records.
Right.
Here's this new album, It Hates You. This track is called That's Nasty. So we're going to start at the top, and when it happens, you'll say, oh, that's nasty.
Okay. I
Perfect.
can't wait. It looks like it's a party hat, not lasers,
Yeah.
but I
Oh,
see it.
It's the pterodactyl
Yeah, yeah,
with
yeah.
lasers and the ostrich.
Jesus.
Ouch.
Oh. That honestly sounds like they were like, could we just all be a half step up from each other at this?
Just in the booth going, all right, are those explosives ready? It's one of those that you'll need to see your cardiologist after you watch them play that
Yeah,
live.
dude.
Yeah,
Jesus.
that's crazy.
So,
that's wild.
It is. That's nasty.
That is
That's
nasty.
nasty.
Yeah.
So,
that's so wild.
That
oh my
is
god.
that's Adam Tambuzif, because I love bringing weird names
Bless you.
to these podcasts. And then big shout out there to Matty Williams, the bass player,
Yeah.
because that is just pummeling
Uh-huh.
sound.
Yeah. That's crazy.
And this is from a band who was, almost jangly,
Sure.
kind of screechy vocal, and Skylar, the singer, embodies this like super creepy kind of thing now.
Yeah.
But that riff is,
that's
great.
crazy.
And
That's
then
nasty.
you get quad tracked guitars.
Yeah.
One of them's down an octave,
Yeah.
a bass, and then a sub 808 drop
Yeah.
that just rattles everything.
That's so cool. That was incredible. I wonder. I didn't know they were in North Carolina.
Yeah.
I bet they played like local shows coming up with Between the Buried and Me.
Surely.
Like
Surely.
they had, because Between the Buried and Me was not the prog band they were when they started. They were like closer to like that, but not like screamo, but in closer to the metalcore screamo scene than what they are now.
If times are correct,
Mm-hmm.
first Between the Buried and Me album is 2002.
Yeah, it says 2003. Yeah, one of the two.
So, and the first He Is Legend record is 2003.
Yeah. So I guarantee
So-
they played
Yeah.
local shows in North Carolina together, and probably are friends.
Yeah, I would put money on it.
Yeah.
So the next one here was a kind of a big album for me. Kind of the same with you with Deaf Heaven. I didn't get into this band until later. We did an episode about Fear Before March of Flames.
Yes, we did.
One of their big influences is a band called Converge.
Right.
So this is from the Converge album Jane Doe, which is their big album.
Oh, yeah.
Kurt Ballou and Aaron Dahlbeck on guitar. This is Phoenix in Flight.
Okay. This is also from the top.
Also from the top.
It like almost hurts my ear a little bit.
Yeah. It's ragged.
Yeah. This is one of those, like, the drums are quiet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, there's a singer. I didn't know.
Yeah. Just so much happening.
Gnarly.
This seems like more of like a I mean, that's cool as shit. That's super gnarly and like really like not in a bad way, but like piercing, right?
Yeah.
And feels like it's inside of my ear as it's going.
Yeah.
I think that the there's a little part of me that's like, I wonder if the guitar player was like this is my excuse to be the nastiest thing and like the meanest thing in the whole wide world.
So-
everyone else shut the fuck up.
Kurt Ballou in particular
Uh-huh.
is a big fan of big loud amps.
Yeah.
He also builds fuzz pedals.
Oh,
Perfect.
So
okay.
that, that tone in particular, there's so much low, like it's
Yeah.
low tuned, but the distortion frequencies are, like you said, it's piercing.
Yeah.
There's just this hair on all of this.
There's something that it really felt like it was like going in my ear, and I am wearing cans, not in ears. Like
yeah,
it's like
yeah.
it's like
and it's big long notes that is so loud the amp starts to feedback.
yeah.
Yep.
And then as soon as it feels like it's going to hit a full feedback, they'll drop a step and a half.
Well, and then you have the fact that there is drums in the background, but because of like the frequency, similar to like what you're talking about on one of Bobby's songs, where it's like the frequency is like almost the same as the cymbals. I like the only thing that I really noticed was like a little bit of like a snare, and I was like, oh wait a minute, like this is. There are drums here, but it's not like the primary thing that we're dealing with. And then when the singer started, that was a real response. That was like, oh my god, there's a singer. That was like the quietest jump scare I've ever encountered.
Right.
Yeah, he's just creeping around in there.
Yeah, that really is like just like you're like watching something, and then all like the singer should do like. You know how like Maynard and Tool is like in the back the whole time.
Yeah.
This is an actual like funny and cool reason to be in the back because you're that quiet in the mix to just be like.
I don't remember the band. I watched a clip of a singer who's under the curtains on the drum riser.
He's peeking his head out. Yeah,
And he's just like
I saw the one. Yeah.
popping out.
Yep.
That's what this is. That's crazy.
So that's Converge. Again, a great
Rad.
record that came out in 2000.
That's crazy.
So that Converge in a band called Botch would really kind of lead to, I guess, what they're calling scrams now.
Sure. Yeah.
But the more spastic.
Sure. I would
kinda
say
thing.
that both of these feel like maybe since that He's Legend was 2009, you said, right?
Yep.
But I'd say both of these are in some way like almost ahead of their time in some of the sounds we're getting. That's I'm sure that some of this was existing during the time in some capacity, but it's like that seems kind of early. 2000 seems kind of early for that. That's pretty crazy.
Yeah.
So again, check out Jane Doe by Converge.
Yeah.
Great record. The next one I've got here is a Baroness song, which is a great band if you're into guitar players. I've got a timestamp of 23 seconds. This is from their album Purple. This is Desperation Burns.
Hate to say, but we looked on better days. Took me by surprise. We left our quiet home.
Two guitar players?
Yep.
The bass is so clear in this mix.
Yeah.
I don't mean this to be like a bad comparison, but like so much of that like gives me like the good usage of Muse.
Yeah.
So like exactly how Muse uses their guitar and bass setup in a lot of like harmony counterpoint things, and
sure.
that like I couldn't stop listening to the bass because I was like, this is it's cutting perfectly.
Yep.
It's not like too low obviously for it to be too like jangly and you can't hear the pitch super well. That was great.
Yeah. Again, a great band.
Yeah.
That album in particular was just big for me because it's a great vocalist.
Yeah.
And then it's heavy guitar, but it's not just pummeling like the last two.
Yeah, absolutely.
There's so much clarity in everything that you can hear
Everything.
every single thing.
Yeah.
So again, check them out if you haven't listened to
Right.
Baroness. John Baisley and Pete Adams on that album.
I know we're not doing this today, but what genre would you put Baroness?
Could not even.
Okay, because for some reason in my brain they were like a stoner metal band.
I mean, sure, there's elements of that.
Okay.
But this is like it's reminiscent of Judas Priest and
Totally.
Iron Maiden.
The vocals on
kind of
that
thing.
feel very reminiscent of Judas Priest. Yeah.
Yeah.
Aside from like not being as like high and waily, but aside from that, feel very reminiscent of Judas Priest. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
That's great.
this next band is another band that just really introduced me to a genre. I went to see Fear Before the March of Flames.
Yeah.
And This Will Destroy You from San Marcos, Texas opened.
Yeah.
They played this album, Young Mountain, in its entirety.
You turned me on to this record.
So,
it's incredible.
This is Jeremy Galindo and Chris King on guitars. We're going to start. We'll do right at the 2-minute mark. I said 2.
Right at the 2-minute mark. I read your notes thinking I was getting ahead of everything, and now I'm fucking embarrassed. All right.
Well, I audible that just now. So
You weren't just playing a prank on
yeah,
me.
no. This is Bobby talked about the juxtaposition of like a mellow, clean thing into this wall of sound.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And this is my favorite examples of
Okay.
that.
Very cinematic.
Okay. Yeah.
Just the pulse of the tremolo.
Yeah, it's almost like rushing too. But the guitar on, I guess, the right feels like pretty clean almost.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very ethereal.
Yeah.
I think it's just a great sound for
Yeah.
instrumental.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's great. That's like, yeah, the comparison is there, but I feel as though like because of the establishment before we got out of the drums and the tempo we were kind of locked in, that like pulse was. It felt like it was someone playing a quarter note a little bit faster than they needed to, but not in a bad way, but just
Right.
like, oh, we're feeling it, and then you have like on the right the ethereal, but still very still in some ways piercing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is a good example of, I mean, that is an amp with a tremolo built in
Right.
that nobody listened to really to lock in that tempo for the parts before it. So when that tremolo happens, that's just a static
Yeah.
effect.
Yeah.
And I think it's used really well. Like you said, it feels like it's trying to push everything, and then everything else is just going, no, we're gonna hang out back here.
That's great. Yeah, exactly. I love that. That's super cool. That's a
So-
I always find like interesting whenever like you have something in a band that is feeling like you're not like rhythmically unstable in like a polyrhythmic sense or something like that, but just like some part of the band that is like, I'm gonna be playing like just this much faster than you or just this much slower than you. We talk about it a lot with like Open Mike Eagle and
Yeah.
his flow, right? And
Yeah,
how it always
absolutely.
feels like he's a little behind the beat when he's rapping. Or the other guy that he collabs with a lot that you sent one song that was like that guy was like always behind.
Still riff.
Yeah. And it's like it's a super fascinating thing how it's like if you do it intentionally and in that way, you really do feel like you're pulling something back, but it's not. You feel almost more grounded in a sense, right?
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Super cool.
Again, I'm just gonna keep saying it. Check that band out. You know, listen to This Will Destroy
that's a
You.
great record. Yeah.
It's I think it's about 45 minutes.
Yeah.
You can just put it
Yeah.
in, turn the lights off. It's great.
That's great.
And then I was panicking. Right. So nothing on my list is from the 90s. And
Oh,
the
okay.
90s is huge for me.
Totally. Yeah. Yeah.
So I was going, okay, what's heavy? I was talking to Bobby, like, what's heavy acoustic guitar?
Ooh.
And like, well, I couldn't really find heavy acoustic guitar.
Okay.
But this is a band called Failure.
Okay.
This is from their 1995 album, Fantastic Planet.
Okay.
Also an incredible record.
Yeah. This is Stuck on You, and we'll start just right at the top.
Okay. This is a Christmas song?
Yep. Bass doing a lot of work there.
Yeah, absolutely.
And then it's going to drop out and we'll have some heavy acoustic guitar.
Okay.
Great chord voicings.
Yeah.
Well, it's that tempo thing just sitting right there.
Heard you driving in my car,
Yeah.
then in a frozen bar. I claim
The acoustic almost reminds me of Radiohead's usage of acoustics sometimes.
Yeah.
Also, the drums are audience perspective.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
I heard the floor tom on my left. I was like, what? and then he goes to the hat. It's in my right, and I was like, oh, this is audience perspective.
Okay.
That's so okay.
Yeah, I hadn't put that
I hadn't-
together.
me
but,
neither.
yeah, I mean, like, again, that's just a great, like, that's bass and guitar just making this
Yeah.
massive.
Yeah.
That's
just
great.
Everything is weighty.
Yeah, that's incredible. It's like what was the was it a keyboard or a synth or something at the very beginning, or was that a guitar as well?
That's guitar.
Also
Okay,
guitar.
So there's two guitars that are like basically doing the same idea,
Yeah.
but different tones and like different registers. And then you have, is there another guitar or is it just bass after that? Just bass kind of laying down foundation, right?
Yeah, so when everything kicks
Yeah.
in, there's a
Yeah.
rhythm guitar that's locked in with the bass.
Oh, okay.
And then I believe that is Ken Andrews
Okay,
on
gotcha.
the lead.
Because
Christmas part.
when it kicked in, it was still the Christmas part was still happening. There's something else
Yes.
that's with it. Maybe he's doing something. But it sounded like there was. Are there three guitar players in this?
It's two
or-
guitar
okay,
players.
two-
That's
okay.
just going to be
It's-
double.
okay,
double.
later,
It,
yeah,
it sounded
okay,
like it
yeah,
was
okay,
tracked
gotcha.
one with the original effect and then one on like a clear side
right.
of things.
Yeah. That's great. It's such a cool way to fill out like this kind of like, for lack of a better term, like goofy sounding little like little melody,
Yeah.
and then you get like another kind of way to fill it out, and then you get a rhythm track, and then a bass track doing a lot of work to really
Yeah.
let that work. Yeah.
So and then an almost like chromatic chord progression
Absolutely. Yeah.
that
Yeah.
will lead to that tension that
Yeah.
you just go, oh, okay.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that's I'm never gonna say they're my favorite because I'll pick 5 different ones again.
Yeah, that's like that's a tough one. That's
Yes.
a really big like that's but I feel as though like from what we have in these 15 songs, there's a good selection here.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of ground covered.
Yeah.
It could have been very easy for the three of us to all pick metal songs
Yeah.
from 2010 to
Yeah.
2015.
Exactly. Yeah.
Or you
Yeah.
know, anything like that. And we skipped big. Like, there's no Black Sabbath.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Kind of the originators of heavy guitar.
Yeah.
There's no thrash really.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
And
No Gojira.
no Gojira. Well, Mike Stringer does the pick scrape thing better.
Yeah, yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah.
So,
No, that's it's a great list, and the playlist should be public too. I'll for sure I'll double check that too. But
Cool.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's a cool list. So
yeah. I like guitars a lot. So
Especially when there's 3 of them in one band.
I mean, the
Come
more
on now.
the more the better. My 2 favorite bands have too many guitar players.
Yeah.
So I tried very hard to find like what's a heavy Wilco song. This is not really their thing. I guess Via Chicago when everything runs off the rails.
did we
But-
did you see the Margaret Glaspie like Wilco thing? What it was?
Yeah.
Yeah, we can talk about it more later. But I was yeah.
It's interesting.
She's doing a whole cover record,
Yeah,
and it all has collabs on it, and it's
So-
super cool.
It's we don't have to get too into the
Yeah,
weeds.
yeah.
I listened to Nora Jones' podcast
Uh-huh.
with Jeff Tweedy,
Oh,
where she played Jesus Etc. with Jeff Tweedy.
and then they just did Margaret.
yeah.
Okay, Margaret Glaspie and Nora
there-
Jones
there-
doing it.
There are like piano ideas
Uh-huh.
that I am positive she was
Yeah.
thinking of with the Jeff Tweedy
Absolutely, yeah.
version.
Yeah,
But
Yeah.
So
that's great.
listen to more heavy guitars.
Yes, always, forever
So-
and ever.
Again, this is it's been a blast, Bobby. You got a couple of bands. What are you promoting?
I'm promoting my 2 bands, East Texas Logging Company
Yeah,
and Newsom Mound.
Both heavy guitar bands.
Yes. Yeah.
Very
So,
nice.
Absolutely. It's the
Hayden,
best kind of guitar.
People on this channel here know from you. I think. What do you got going? What's coming up?
Just keep supporting this channel, please.
Just do that.
do you want to do the outro? Or you want me to do it?
Well, I don't know. I'll come up with an outro eventually.
Okay,
I promise.
okay.
So right now, I'm just gonna say, "Panic" and get us out here. Just
Okay, yeah.
close
Hey,
it.
just if you haven't already, please follow, subscribe, whatever you're using to listen or watch this. It's free. Like the video if you're watching on YouTube, and stick around for more because there's plenty more where that came from. I haven't played a sound yet. Fuck.
What do we got?
Let's go, girls.
See ya.
There it is.
We almost